What's up everyone? My name is Michael and you're watching the From WordPress to Statamic YouTube channel. Today I'm going to continue on our series on using images with Glide in Statamic. This time I'm going to show you something that WordPress can't do at all without a plugin, so we're only going to look at Statamic. As you can see on the screen here, I've got my people index page and it's a little plain, so I want to add a background image around the title so it looks a little bit more interesting. And the thing that we're going to look at here is the focal point. So let's just go into the back end real quick, and you can see that I've added this page config to my pages, and I've got this use banner checkbox. And so when I have this selected, I can browse for an image, and let's take maybe this one here, and I'll just save that. And if I go back to the front end, you'll see nothing's happening. So I do need to make some adjustments to the template in order to do that. So I'm going to start with a condition. I'm going to say if my use banner is true, and I'll just stub this out a little bit, else we'll do this. We'll end the if. Now I'm just going to paste some code in here so that you don't have to watch me type it all out. So I'm just going to copy from what I've got off screen and paste it in there. Okay, so now I've got this container where I want to make use of my image. So it's going to be on this div here that I'm going to place my background image. So the next step here is to actually get the image and assign it as a background property. So I'll do it like this. I'll say style equals background image, and it's going to be a URL. And here, I'm going to make sure I have this right number of braces. Yeah, so I'm going to say glide banner, and I'll get the preset of hero, so that I'm not using the full size image. Okay, so there I've got my image there, and it's sort of styled to fill the space. But what we want to look at here is the actual focal point, which I can set in Statamic. So I'm going to go back into the back end, and I'm going to edit my image here. Now when I'm editing the photo, you can see at the top here, there's this focal point option. And now I already have mine configured to 50 and 75%, X and Y. The default is 50-50, so you can set it wherever you want. So I'm just going to stick with down here. I'll stick with that, that's fine. And I'll save. And I'll go back to my front end once this is done saving. And I can actually specify that as another property here. So I can say background position. Now to actually access the property that we just saved, I'm going to use the banner focus, and the pipe operator here is going to be background position. Make sure I have the right number of curly braces there. And so now you can see that the image position adjusted. And so if I was to look at the CSS, well, let's make that a little bit smaller. And okay, so you can see the background image is the URL of my hero preset version of this image. Right, so it's cropped to that size that I want. And the background position here is 50-70. So if you remember when we were looking at the back end, 50-70 was the value of our focal point. I can make this part a little bit simpler. I don't have to do this pipe operator to get the value. So the raw value here is just 50-70, just like that, which isn't really valid CSS. So I can actually add focus _ CSS, which gives me that value, so I don't need the operator to modify it here. So there we go, 50 and 70. And now, no matter how I resize the thing, the focal point remains in the center of the image there. So to demonstrate this a little bit more, I'm gonna select a different image. So let's choose a different one, and let's try this cyclist. Okay, and I'm going to select here to choose a focal point. So maybe rather than 50-50, maybe I want the focal point to be over on the left side here. This sort of rule of thirds composition. I want to make sure that this is always visible. right? So I've already got that selected there, 25, and here we go up a little bit, 50, close enough. And I'll save that. Give it a refresh. Oh, I need to save the post as well. There we go. So now you can see that the focal point is keeping that part of the image from being cropped out no matter how I size it. So this is a really handy use case for making sure that the part of the image that I want to be seen as the focal point is always there, using this approach, using a background image and the focus style. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you haven't yet, please do sign up for my email newsletter so you can get reminded whenever I publish new content here or on my website. Catch you next time.